This is E.Wilson, the Conversator from the JTC Exchange Radio Show. We're coming to you live from the JTC Exchange headquarters in Bedford, Texas. I'm just excited to be here today. For those of you who have been following, you know we do mentoring in the high schools, and I have posted a group of powerful men who are going to be going in there with me today to make impact on the students. So we're just excited about it, and I have with me the CEO of Round the Clock Entertainment / People of Purpose Faith Ministries / partner with the JTC Exchange, and also the extraordinaire behind First Sunday's Talent Showcase, Mr. Carlton McConnell. So Carlton, how are you doing today, sir?
Awesome. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing even great that you're sitting right here in another capacity. Usually we're talking about talent or radio shows or interviews or who's the next big star coming to town. But today is a little bit different. You know, we had the chance to go in today as a team and make impact on the students at the area high school. So let me ask you, the first question is, how did the students receive you at the class today?
I think the verdict is still out on that.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking. I believe in my heart, in my spirit, that I was well received. I say that based on, I told the students that they could call me Mr. McConnell, they could call me Carlton, they could call me Mr. Carlton. In fact, I jokingly said, you can call me anything you want, just don't call me late for dinner.
Food.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I really told them just to try to put them at ease. You know, it wasn't, I wanted to be authoritative over them. I wanted to have a dialogue with them.
Absolutely.
And be on one accord. Much that they're not with their teachers, counselors, or administrators.
Okay, I got you.
They may feel threatened, a little taken aback from their position. So, and I didn't want to come in like that.
Okay.
So I told them to call me Carlton, though at the end of the day, at the end of the classroom, they all were coming up to me, Mr. Carlton, Mr. Carlton. So, and I had much dialogue with many of the students. On a somewhat personal basis and some of the things they were interested in. So I believe that it was well received.
Okay. All right. So on that note, then, because we talk about when we're in the schools, you know, it's like a two-way street, like a JTC Exchange. It goes both ways. It's an exchange. So you were received by the students, but what did it do to you personally, being in the schools at this day and age? It's nothing new for you, and being able to interact with other children, you know, young people, you know, other than family, so to speak. What did it do for you as an older gentleman now, being able to give back in this area at this time? Because it's nothing new for you.
Well, first, I'm not that old.
I just said older. Nah, that slipped out. Because we almost the same age, so you know.
No, on a serious note, it was very heartwarming experience. It touched me as I was sharing and engaging them. They were sharing and engaging me. That's what dialogue and conversation is, as you said. As I shared some of myself to them, they shared some of themselves with me. Not only their names, some of the things they like, some of the things they're engaged in, extracurricular activities. Some of us had things in common. Many of the students, in fact, were in the arts, performing arts. Two dancers, one tennis player. I played tennis in high school, so we had great dialogue with that particular student. And so it was very rewarding for me, because I'm supposed to be mentoring them. You know, they weren't actually mentoring me, but it certainly was very rewarding. It was fair exchange.
I got you.
And very humbling. It also touched me from a standpoint of need. And I picked right up on it, Eric, that the reason why we're there. And the great need for mentors, big brothers, big sisters, whatever you want to call it, someone coming into the schools, having these type of dialogues, mentoring, shouldering some of the responsibilities that, quite frankly, maybe it should be done at home. Maybe it's not getting done at home. It's obvious it's not getting done at home. I know talking with many of the students are coming from broken homes or single family homes. And so, but even before they told me that, I could see it, I could feel it, I could sense it. One example I shared with you off camera, I'll share it again for your viewing audience and listening audience. The first thing I did was, even after the principal or assistant principal introduced me, I went around to each kid personally behind the podium. In fact, I didn't spend much time behind the podium. I'm a hands-on type person. And so I went to each and every student, row by row, chair by chair, and introduced myself personally and had them introduce themselves personally. And seeing and looking into the eyes of some of these students, males and females, sophomores and seniors, many, not all, but many of them didn't have good eye contact. And where I'm from and how I was brought up, that was a sign of I won't say weakness, but certainly self-esteem. If it's not low self-esteem, it's certainly not enough self-esteem. Right. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
So I picked right up on that. And that was within the first minute as they were introducing. And so that resonated with me. Another thing that resonated with me in the need with these students for us to be in the schools and do more of this was in the introduction process, many of the students did not give firm handshakes. Now, I don't know about you, but where I come from, whether it's a man or a female, you don't give a fish cold, lackadaisical handshake. It's a nice, firm handshake. And you look a person in the eye. I didn't get much of that today. And so again, to me, it says, even though I don't know these kids, just met them today, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out that many of them don't have great self-esteem, their voice very low. You couldn't hardly hear them speak, even saying their own names. So I had to ask several of them to speak up or repeat themselves. And so to encourage them, not to demean them, not to degrade them, just to encourage them that was needed, whether you're talking to me, your teacher, or principal, or your parent, or a potential employer, that they want to be understood. So you have to speak up.
Right. Wow. Well, that's awesome. See, that's awesome. So the last question then is, and I think you did 2 for 1, is that what do you say, and we're going to, it's for men and women, but what do you say to the men out there to help them to understand that though we have busy schedules, and a lot of us, some are single, some have families, some don't, but what do you say to them how important it is to see men involved in the schools?
Well, it's very important. Again, it was so evident that there's lack of men or strong men or any man in many of these young people's lives. It was obvious. Some of them told me, but it was obvious from their actions, the way they talked, the way they walked, the whole nine. And so I would say to men that there's a great need for more people to get involved in this process, because many of the kids, again, are coming from broken homes or single family homes. And so and you see it in their actions again, that missing link, that missing part of the puzzle, or what so it's very much needed. And I would just say to men out there to encourage them, even though you're busy, people own businesses, people have their own lives. No, we're not getting paid, but we care about the community. We care about kids. We love kids. It doesn't matter race or ethnicity. It goes across all color barriers. We just love people. We want to give back to the community. That's what I would say. It's very important and much needed. I'm enthusiastic about it. It was my first day doing it here. I've done it many times before back home in Michigan. It was my first time here, and I was looking forward to it. And it probably exceeded my expectations. I hope I met their expectations, but for me, it exceeded my expectations. and I'm looking forward to going back again.
Well, thank you, C-Mac. Thank you for the men out there. Listen, you're needed. You know, for the women out there, you're needed. But we can't sit on the fence and talk about what's going on with the youth if we're not going to do anything about it. So for those who see this in your city, there's mentoring programs. I guarantee you the schools are dying for those to come in and get involved and to volunteer in all kinds of areas. So it doesn't really make a difference. The area, just get in, as you would say, where we fit in. Yeah. And so we're excited about it. Thank you again, C-Mac, for the teamwork. And I'm just excited about what's to come. If you're in the HEB or the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you're not involved, we encourage you to get involved. If you're in this area or you want to come up here, our requirements that you need to care about the students and to show genuine love, and we believe that's the key that's going to open up the doors. Not so much of what you know, but them seeing it, because they can read you real quick and know whether you care or whether you don't. And this is what we want to push over here at the JTC Exchange. So if you want more information on the JTC Exchange, go to www.jtc_exchange.org, or you can email us at jtc_exchange@gmail.com. So this is E.Wilson, the Conversator, with my man C-Mac right here at the headquarters. Remember, if you're going to have a conversation, make it a good one. Haha, we're out.
Oh no, it's the flow. It's the flow of the Spirit from on high. It's the flow of Adonai, the Lord, my great Lord. It's the flow of El, the strong one. It's the flow of El Elyon,